So step 2, the pizza, getting the toppings ready. So I have 3 large mushrooms, which I slice thusly. And my goal is to lay the entire surface of the pizza with mushrooms because I like mushrooms. All right, for the sauce, I start with, I've got my little food chopper Cuisinart here. It's about 2 tablespoons of olive oil. I got 3 garlic cloves. Recent literature says you really can't use too much garlic. 3 seems a lot for this size pizza, but works out pretty well. For my seasoning, I use a mixed Italian seasoning blend. And for something this size, I will use a teaspoon. A little more. And I go with fresh tomatoes. Sam's Club year-round carries this mixed hothouse heirloom medley. You can make your pizza whatever color you want. So I'm going to take a combination of yellow and dark red. These look like Cherokee purples. So, handful of tomatoes. Better to go light on the topping than too heavy. Lighter topping will cook more evenly. They go in there. And I got my little Cuisinart ready to go. There you go, fresh sauce. Okay. Got the sauce here. I'm going to move this all aside because now we're going to shape the pie. All right. Okay, so we put the dough out to rise about 2 hours ago, and it has risen. Comes off the board pretty easily because I put a good amount of flour down. All right, so in terms of shaping this thing, I always hand shape. Need a little flour on that. Hand shaped pizza is going to rise better because you got all the little micro bubbles from the fermentation process of it rising. And if you use a rolling pin, you'll get rid of them all. All right, so this is pretty soft. I'm going to bounce it on my hand here just to get it thinned out. You can see it's already starting to get bigger. All right, so what I'm going to do here is put my hands underneath the pizza, and I'm going to do 2 things. I'm going to lift it and let the weight of the pizza stretch it out as I stretch the perimeter of the pizza, and then I rotate it and repeat. And while I'm doing this, I'm watching the pizza. I want to make sure it doesn't get too thin, that it doesn't break through. It's going to start to thin, especially in the center. So hands underneath, lifting, stretching the perimeter, rotating it. And you can see how quickly this thing gets bigger. I'm going to put my hands underneath it too and help it get that round shape. And that's about it. I can see where parts of the pizza are becoming pretty thin. And this is really about as big as I need to get it. There you go. One pizza, hand-shaped. Now I'm going to transfer it to my pizza peel. Some flour. All right, so before I put the pizza on the peel, put down some white cornmeal. White cornmeal is great because it will keep the pie from sticking when you want to slide it onto your stone, and it doesn't burn as easily as flour. I'm going to spread that out, and then transfer that to there. All right. Okay. So you can see from this 130 grams of dough, we got a pretty decent sized pizza there. I got the sauce that just a few minutes ago was raw ingredients. And I'm spread this out. Got a little brush here that I use for this. If I didn't have a brush, I would just use the back of a spatula. And I brush my topping on. And yeah, I go light topping. It cooks more evenly. Now you may notice one thing I did not do with the pizza pies. I did not roll up the edges. You really don't have to, because the weight of the topping will stop the central part of the pizza from rising, and the perimeter with nothing on it will rise around it. All right, well, I got a little bit leftover sauce, but I think this is all I'm going to put on here. All right, freshly ground black pepper. And again, hard to use too much. One thing I did not add to this pizza at all was salt. Normally when I make a pizza with Parmesan, I find that the salt in the Parmesan is all the salt that I need. But I'm pretty much a salt-free guy. So now I'm going to layer the pizza with my mushrooms. I start around the perimeter. And I go for maximal mushroom coverage. I never understood those pizzas, mushroom pizzas, that have like a couple thin slices scattered around. It's like, come on, man. Put some mushrooms on your mushroom pizza. Mushrooms on the pizza. That worked out just about right. A couple more I'll squeeze in there. Okay. Now normally with cheese I would have some fresh mozzarella. 1 ounce that I would tear into small pieces, but I'm traveling and I'm only staying here a couple days, so I didn't buy a slab of fresh mozzarella. And I would also have some high quality Parmesan that I would grate at the end. Did not buy that. Instead I have this store brand of Italian style cheese, mozzarella, provolone, and Parmesan. So that's okay. And I will sprinkle this on. That's about about 1.5 ounces of cheese. 1.5 ounces. And normally at home I would put this on my grill, which would be at about 650, 700 degrees on a stone, but here I'm traveling. And I've got this Breville pizza maker. This is several years old. They've got some newer models, but this thing works pretty well. Gets up to like 450, 500. So we're gonna put our pizza on there. And it slides off. Oops, kind of went over the edge there. All right, and we're going to give that about 8 minutes.